So tell us, what is your approach to using metrics? What are your favorite ones and how to use them? And give us your approach to it.
Yeah, so there are a lot of metrics. I think the way to think about it in your mind is to separate what's an output metric versus what's an input metric. Okay, so you probably heard that before from other Amazonians on your show.
Well, I have to say, I've heard, I mean, obviously we can understand what it is, but how Amazon uses things can be sometimes different. I've heard controllable inputs,
Mhm.
which was a very important thing. And but you tell us, you tell us, give us the whole academic approach.
Yeah, so generally, everyone looks at the outputs. They tend to care about the outputs. From an Amazon perspective, you don't manage the outputs, you manage the inputs. Okay, so uh, the problem with that, if you're Amazon, you can say it's easy to do that. Wall Street gives you a long leash. If you're not hitting your profit margins for, the quarter, so be it, as long as you're focusing on the right inputs. Uh, Not every business, not every agency, not every brand has the ability to purely forget about the outputs. So it's a little bit, it's not I would say philosophically pure as what we operated in at Amazon. I can remember, I think in my first month on the job at Amazon, I oversaw the headphones and AV accessories business. And I did a price match, which is the right thing to do, price competitiveness, but ended up costing the company over $200,000 in a matter of days. And I thought for sure that I was going to be fired because I came from a much more traditional durable goods, white goods company prior to that, and went into the WBR thinking, I'm going to get it handed to me. And ultimately it was, okay, this happened. It was the right decision. And then the focus was, what's the mechanism that we can put in place so that this doesn't happen again? Right. So it was a very, you know, uh, interesting dynamic. If you've been in like a traditional publicly traded company and had one of those impacts, it just doesn't go that way. But with Amazon, it was purely, okay, the input was, we were focusing on price competitiveness. That was the right decision. What are the different levers that we could have pulled not to be in that situation in the future? So, the issue was, it was like rotating national promos on the part of the vendor. And so, we're matching Best Buy, this is something that we can work with the vendors on, like try to figure out, is there a guaranteed margin, a clawback, is there a change in their marketing policies? All of those things were what was the focus rather than just looking at that profitability output. But to answer your question, from my, looking at it from the agency as well as the brand, they have the shared goals here. And ACoS, advertising cost of sale, is obviously one that's historically been very prominent. Recent years, folks are starting to focus more on TACoS, right? Total advertising cost of sale. And I think you're starting to see more agencies begin to manage to a TACoS target, which is, it's another layer removed. It makes the job more difficult, but it's not really advertising cost of sale. That's more like a return metric. TACoS is, and I think of this as like a financial metric. This is the margin impact that is hitting the P&L as a result of the advertising spend.